Hello everyone, my name is Avkash and you are welcome to another session of VibeCoding. In this project, we are going to use image as our input and we are going to generate code just by following a series of prompts in the Cloud session. Our objective is to just by using the Cloud prompts and reiterating our prompts in various ways as we are going to progress writing our code, generate our code and integrate that code in Visual Studio IDE so that final output can be verified and can be optimized as we grow further and further. This tutorial is divided into two sessions. This first session video, you are going to use a series of prompts entered into the Claude session, and all the output has been gathered and inserted into the Visual Studio Code IDE to verify the output, and depending on the output we can ask next prompt so that newer code can be generated and that code can also be integrated within the IDE. In the second part of this separate video, I'll be following the exact same process by taking the input image and generating the code, but that time I will be using the cursor ID. So without further delay, let's get ourselves started. Code. As you could see here, left side is our objective. This is the UI which has widgets, connectivity, input and endpoints with some settings as well, and the connectivity between two widgets from input endpoint to the output endpoint. So this is our source requirement, and right side you could see here that this is the final code which has been created by using the various Cloud prompts, and the whole process about writing the prompts, then extracting the output from Cloud and integrating into the IDE, and in between everything needed is all part of this video. In this video, you are going to pretty much follow how I'm using the web-based Cloud prompt in order to achieve our objective. However, in the second part of this video, I will be creating exact same code design, but instead of using Cloud, I will be using the cursor to show you how you can utilize the cursor code window in order to achieve your exact same objective. So let's get ourselves started. So this is our input image. As you can see, here are widgets, connectivity between the widgets, and widgets also have the input as well as the output endpoints combined with a few settings parameter, and there is a connectivity between the widget input as well as the output endpoints. So a screenshot from this UI is our input along with a lot of prompts. We are going to utilize the Cloud to achieve our objective. So I have already taken the screenshot. So let me show you the screenshot. So this is the screenshot which is similar to this design. As you could see that this screenshot pretty much shows exactly what we are looking into as our objective. So this is a screenshot along with the prompt will be our step number 1. So as you can see, I already have the full session captured from the Cloud. So here I have uploaded our image and my very basic command. My command is create a new React UI using the image as the design objective. I didn't ask anything else, just fed my image and say this is my design objective, so generate the React UI for me. And as you could see, this is the very first code is generated. It's a version 1 of 9. It means the very first version of the code, and here is our UI. If you look based on our objective, it pretty much satisfy our requirement. There are widgets, a few connectivity built into, and these widgets do have the input and output endpoints, and pretty much very basic. There is no fluidity built into, nothing like that, because that is what we have exactly asked for it. So if you just create a React project and integrate this code, this is what you are going to get at first. So next step would be that, okay, we need to update the above code. So the next command after that, actually this is not a good way to start. So I have added more content to it into my prompt. Update above code to make each of the widget floating in the UI. And connection between the widgets can be created dynamically. It means I have asked two more things to create the dynamic connectivity as well as make these widgets floating in the UI. And as you could see, the new drag and drop UI has been created. There was a message or max length error hit. So I wrote continue, and here is the final code came up. And if we look into this code, that code actually there, and it says that this code is here and it has revamped our UI, which has the draggable nodes, dynamic connections, connection visualizations, add new node, connection management. So this is what has been added, but as you could see, this is our updated code, but this code is not running, because if this code is running, we should be seeing a fluid UI, but we are seeing this error. So if you see this kind of error, what you could do, you could actually take this error and you can paste back here. Because based on memory management in this chat session, the system will know that this where this error is coming into, and they could fix it. So I say, this is the error. Can you fix this error in Flowise UI? I will fix this error, and here is the next version of error. Okay, let me check the entire code carefully to locate the syntax error. Here is the analysis, and now the identified the error and the code is fixed. So this is the new code which has been generated. Now it has the fluid UI, as you could see, and until now I haven't even spent writing a single line of code. So that's the beauty of using the Claude session, is that you can actually come up with the idea of what you are looking into, then after you can start writing the code, versus if you are using the IDE based prompt, then you are start writing the code. And I will be showing you both of the way that you can figure it out which is best suitable for your project as well as your requirement. So until now we have the code which is available here. This is the code, and these are the different this is the requirement fed based on our prompt by the Cloud. So the updated version has the dependency array, or okay, everything here, and then UI feature, draggable nodes, dynamic connections, visual feedback, ability to add new nodes. So it means the new nodes can be added. Here you can see there is a new node can be added. We can actually remove, looks like the code, the node removal is not added, which we could request later. And ability to add new nodes, a notification system to show when the changes are saved. So as you could see here, the save capability is also, I think save button should be here. Okay, so save is not there. Okay. Okay, and then it also suggests that all the React libraries you need to install. So now, okay, so at this point we have got this whole code. Now what we are saying is that we are requesting that, okay, please suggest that all the React libraries I need to install in my project to integrate this as this code as Flowise UI. So here we need to create React packages, whatever needed, with the Tailwind, then set up the Tailwind in our project, and finally these are some optional packages, and then we need to update our Tailwind, and then our good to go. So as you could see here, these are the different steps were created in order to integrate our code. You have an option to actually, if you are new, you say you are setting your project very first time, I actually added a new prompt here. So how to create a new React project using Vite along with Tailwind CSS integration. So if you follow this way, you will be able to create the very quick code which is based on your Tailwind supported Vite React template. So now it is the time for us to start writing code for ourselves. So I will follow this command because this is something you really need to know even before you are writing anything here. So I will go ahead and I will create the code. So let's come back in our editor. So I have this folder AI coding. So I can say npm and then after I will be following the create, and then we will be using the wait at latest, then our project name. So let's call AI demo, and we just call it 11 March 11. AI demo 11 is our project name. Then after we are creating the dash 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 template and our React. So depending on React, Vue, and any other different template, React based template you want to use, I'm using the React here. Here is my code. I can come back here. I can say cd AI demo 11. That's my demo. And I can say npm install. All the packages are being installed. So this code, this window we are going to use to run our server, and there this following window we can use to run various commands. Now we can see that node module is there. Now we can do npm run dev. So this is a Vite based template for the React which has no Tailwind integration. So we can go look into localhost 5173, and here you can see at this point we can open an editor and load this code. So our code is AI demo 11. This is our code. So let's use the Visual Studio Code Editor, file, open folder, and AI demo 11. Here is our code, source app.jsx. Here I can make some changes. So if I come here, I can say plus, and I can say AI demo, save it, AI demo. It means this is our code, this is our project. Now if you would want to integrate the Tailwind, we can actually use this command. So npm install, okay. So we can come back here, we can say npm install, and as you could see, I'm using the Tailwind CSS, then post CSS and auto prefixer. So it's installing these particular packages in our project folder. Then after we are going to use the initialize the Tailwind. So npx Tailwind CSS init -p in our project. So as you could see here that it said could not determine executable to run. And I know this problem because when you are using Tailwind this way, it installing the Tailwind version 4. So Tailwind version 4 does not use this init command. So we can go back and we can say that actually we are looking for Tailwind 3. Once we have Tailwind 3 installed rather than the latest 4, then our Tailwind initialization code should work. Okay, command ran. So actually we have completed this part. Now we just really need to go and add this content into the tailwind config.js. Good thing is that because we have already loaded our project, so tailwind config.js is here. We can add this code too as is suggested here, and we can go to index.css and we can add these lines. So here we have our index.css, and there you go. So we have, okay, at this point, if we run our code, we have the Tailwind integration built into, and we can actually, you see that these min-h screen, everything, these things can be integrated. So if we come back here, we take this code into the app.jsx, and based on this newer code, I can remove this, I can add this new code, save, come back, and here is Tailwind is integrated. So center, everything is fixed, item center, justify center, flags, and this is the code. So now our code has tailwind also built into it. It means that if we are going to follow this code, it will be super easy for us to take this code and integrate it. Okay, so at this point, we really do not need this particular command help because we have pretty much followed exactly. So I will go ahead and I will keep it in case if we need to find something else. But this is, I'm just gonna move this guy here. So this is what we are going to follow. So this we have followed. Now our project is ready. It means we can integrate. So what I have asked at this point is that I have asked Claude that convert the above code to React white template and refactor whole code with the components design. Finally generate the file structure so I can integrate the code as is into my React white project. So we have already created this whole project, which is a base project, and I asked Claude that, okay, this is great, I like it, but I would like to integrate this code based on file structure. So at this point, before even look into file structure, this is our final code, and that was our code design. So what if I take this code and try to integrate in our project and see if this code works or not? So what I will do is that I will just copy this code and I will just create a Flowise UI code in our project and see if it works. Okay, so I will just create source file, I have pasted this whole code in the app.jsx, import Flowise UI, okay. At this point, I'm commenting this whole code. I have used the Flowise UI, and let's see if anything missing here. So it's looking for leave side React, and if we look into here, I think it would have suggested us that we need to install the npm install. So we will take this, come back here, okay, this package has installed. As you could see that this particular layout, which is not a full width, so we can go look into how we can fix this. So this is our Flowise UI container, which is running inside this div, and as we can see that this is app and this is referencing the app.css. So we can go look into the app.css. Here is the root. We can change this parameter. We can say let's make this width 100%. Once the width is 100%, that should create it. So this is whole layout, and as you can see, our code is there, everything is moving, new nodes can be generated, new nodes can be connected, as so it means the code is not there, but it means that we have ability to really integrate our this code for our further project requirement. So let's review where we were. So we have already created our project, we have integrated the base code, but we haven't really integrated the code which is based on this layout, and that layout has been created based on our this prompt. This prompt was created specifically to take the old code, which was pretty much a monolith. Everything was in one single file, and we really wanted to make sure that this code has been refactored in multiple files. So these are the multiple files, and it also has ability to add new widgets as needed, and they create the connection in between. So here is the Flowise file structure, and here are the various files. So the next step is to take this whole code and go back and generate the structure like that. So I will take this whole code and I will integrate, and I will just come back with the same structure as available in this IDE. Okay, so here is the target folder structure. Let's look into our code. This is our whole new structure. I have integrated the code. What I have done is that the old Flowise UI code, I just kept the base code here, so that's for reference only. So all that code, which was about 500 lines, has been refactored into various different node types. All these node types are here. Then we can see that the canvas, connection, and Flowise UI, this is the where the integration of the all the components are there, and this Flowise UI has been referenced here and is coming out from component Flowise UI, and that's pretty much it. And then there are hooks for the connections, and there are utils, and pretty much it is. So looking into the code is running right now here. We can make sure it's running. So let me just go back, run it, and the code is there. As you could see, this is the exactly code which we were looking for. It has everything in it. We can see if the nodes can be deleted. So nodes can be deleted, new nodes can be added. If we look into new node, connectivity from this node to that node cannot be created, as well as the existing connections cannot be deleted. So these are the two problems we still have in our code. So as you could see that this is the whole structure we had. We have integrated it, and I didn't really do anything extra. I just followed it. So if you see, there is a one issue I found is that use connection drag.js as it is not working. So I asked that, okay, something issue here. So this is the use connection drag, and it has the state management, and this is the version 4 of the code. So I have used this code, copied it, and used connection drag, and I have updated this code so that there was an issue which has been fixed now. And now let's see what happens. So based on the results we have seen, I really wanted to add more code to it. So here I'm requesting that when I try to create a new connection from one output endpoint to another widget input point, I'm not able to create a new connection. That is exactly this issue. When I try to create, I'm not able to create the connection. Looks like the code is missing to create a new connection between two widgets, input and output endpoints. So update the code into respective files and let me know which files I need to update to make the connection working between two widgets. So I have exactly quoted my requirement here. And as you could see here, these are the file edited for this. And here is the implementation guide. So it says that I need to update the canvas. So if you look into the canvas, I'm using the version 3 of 4 code. I can copy this. I can go to canvas. Right now this code is about 114 line. Now 121 line. So canvas is updated. Then I need to go to node port. So when you are working this way, you need to work on which particular version of the file you are working. If you click on here, you will find the version different. Okay. So I'm looking into the version 2 right now. I will copy it. Node port. So we have here UI. Okay, node port was available in the Flowise UI. Node port. Okay, few lines are added here. Then I need to go to Flowise UI, and this is the version 2 of 2. This is about 159 lines, 188 lines. Then I need to go connection.jsx, Flowise UI. That is also updated. Then Flowise util, utils. Okay, that code is also updated. Canvas. So as you see here, the canvas was here is the version 3 of 4 and the canvas was updated, so version 4 of 4. So in the same sequence, in the same request, it was updated 2 times. So now we came back, this is version 4 of 4 and that is the canvas.jx. Okay, so all the code has been updated. Here is the implementation guide. So we have fixed various files and here is the how the fixes really work. So it really explains us and these are the explanations. And finally, let's go back and make sure that code is there. I'm just going to make sure it's reloading everything new code. We can come back here. All the code is here. If we see, can we create connectivity? At least we are still not able to create the connection. Let's go back here. So I have made above changes. However, I'm not able to create a connection from blue dots as input node to the other visit green dots output node. So still it's not working. So you can really specify exactly what you are trying to do and what is not working. And you have to make sure that session is not closed. So you are still working on the same session and you are asking exactly. So now you see that it's trying to fix again here. And again, it updated the node port, Flowise UI, init globals, Flowise UI, and as this point. So it says that this is, I have updated the code and these are the code has been updated. Here is the main fix explained. Okay. And now you see here that can you show the final Flowise UI JS code, which I can just copy and paste. So what is happening here is that when I was looking into the Flowise UI updated here, if you look into here, it's just a partial code, Flowise UI. You see, it is replaced, it uses code here and it code somewhere here. Then it's asking me to take this code and update the Flowise UI code here. It means that if I have to pick and choose, I may not be able to paste code properly. So rather than doing that, I have asked that, okay, why don't you give me the complete the Flowise code? So here the Flowise code complete came back to me. So in order to integrate this code, I have to take this code. I have to integrate the node port JX, which is this code, fixed code. So I will take this code, go back to node port JS. Okay, code is more. Then I will go init globals. So this is the Flowise init globals, Flowise UI. Okay, is init globals.js. Okay. Let's come back to take the updated Flowise UI. This is a full code. So that way I don't really need to 221. So this is, so I don't really need to pick and choose. I have asked to give me full Flowise UI. Okay. At this point, I can go look into the output. There are no errors. I can come back here and I can try new code, reload. No, it's not working here. Let's come back again. Still the code is not working and I'm not able to create a connection between 2 points, between 2 visits. So I'm keep asking, okay, say I'm sorry to hear, okay, it's fixing the node port and Flowise UI and see what happens. So again, it explained here. And I think I really say if you encounter the issue, please share any error message from the console so I can provide more targeted assistance. So at this point, let me take the node port code. So I took the node port code. I took the Flowise UI. Okay, this one. And then, so at this point, what I was looking into, because what it has done is that it has added a lots of console logs. So this way I could see what is happening here. So we can go look into here, reload the code, look into what is happening here. And at this point, I will enable the debugging. So debug messages are here. So as you can see that whenever I'm trying to do here, it generate a mouse up event. So this is what I can see, that I'm trying to create the new connection here. So code is being, events are generated, but somehow something is not working. And here you could see that mouse up and mouse up is null. So some of these events are getting null. So the next step is to actually, I was actually supposed to enter the log, but I could not enter. So this one just like my incomplete message. So it's trying to suggest me what is going on here. But this is what I have done. I have taken this output and I have actually pasted this output as it is. It means whatever the error was happening, I took it and I actually gave exact error to it. And based on console log, it's really figure it out, looking out that what is happening here. Mouse indicates the active drag is being set to null at some point. Here is what seems to be happening. Starting is happening, but somehow the during the mouse up event, active drag has the correct source information, but something is causing active drag to be null. So when we try to drag, it just became null. Okay, here is the focused fix to just address this specific issue. Okay, so this is a Flowise UI is trying to fix here. The revised function is changing again. Okay, so because it's really providing me fix, so I say, oh, this is really going to be issue. So now you see here, this is happening in canvas.jsx and this is happening in flowise.jsx. So I say, give me the canvas. Okay, can you show me fully updated canvas.jsx? So this is the canvas.jsx. So I'm taking the last updated one. 136 so lines, it means it has more lines to it. Okay, and here are the changes. Okay, and at this point, if we look into reload, and it's connecting. It means if I clean it up, let me close this, I can create a new node, another node, and I can create the connection between here to here, and thus the connection is created. Let me reload. Okay, so this, if this was our objective, we have achieved by keep using the prompts to help us write our code. However, we haven't really edited any code by ourselves. That was whole key in this project, to show you that how you can write the correct or the better prompts depending on your progress, so that any AI code editors or AI tools can help you writing better code. So I say, perfect, it is working now. So it's really giving me idea that everything, you can always ask, because that helps us to understand where the moving parts are, so you can understand your code, dig into and really make changes as needed in the future. So what I have done is that I have still asked more requirements. So I say, can you code to remove the connection if the connection line is clicked twice, or you can show a little panel on top of the connection line with a delete button to remove the existing connection. So I'm asking that, okay, I really want to delete these connections, write some code. So here, based on my request, the connection, canvas and Flowise UI has been updated. So let's go back to connection. So connection has been updated. Let's go back to canvas. Canvas has been updated. Flowise UI. So all three files has been updated. So whenever you are making changes, you can always remember the lines, so you know that lines has been updated at this point. Okay, now let's see what the results are. Okay, so here are the connection. I can click a connection. I can remove a connection now. I can recreate the connection. Connections are there. So it means that the requirement what we had, we can satisfy. However, there is a problem. When I try to create connection, it actually create connection from the wrong location. It means the adjustment of the height is not clear. So I have asked that. There is a problem that the connection starting point and the ending point does not touch the blue or green point. Instead, it connects just a little below point from the widget header to another widget header. I have to explain exactly because the lines are always connecting from widget header to widget header. But even when I'm trying to create the connection from here to here. So that is exactly I have coded. Okay, can you fix the code to show the connection line connected exactly between the source output point to the target widget output point? So the code has been fixed here. So we need to look into connection.js. Connection.js, then after node port, then after canvas, so these three things has been updated at this point. These are the update. Okay, so now we can look into here and let's close the connection. If we take here, it's still here. So now you can see that yeah, it is much better than before, but it can also be improved. Okay, everything looks okay. So whenever we are creating the connections, at least you can see that this area has been connected here, but you can keep asking in order to get what exactly you are looking for. But you can get an idea that this is what has been at the closest I have created. But again, I could refine its hours depending on what my needs are. So at this point, I have figured it out that what I'm looking is pretty much close to my requirement. That is okay for me. Then I have still asked few more requirements. So first thing what I have asked is that, can you write a function to save the current widget configuration, including design, location, and all connections as JSON, and reload it using a text input box by inputting the JSON into the text box. In the save function, add console log method to see the saved JSON as log. So I have exactly written that whenever I want to save console log, and reason I asked this way is that when I'm saving, I can see where the JSON output is. So I can copy that JSON and I try to reload it. So that was exactly I asked. So it has updated the flow utils. So let's integrate the flow utils. So flow utils has been updated. Then it added a new file called import export panel. So it's creating the import export panel.jsx in the Flowise UI. Then after header, UI header.jsx, UI header.jsx. Then after the Flowise UI, so we have UI, okay, header.jsx. I have got the header, then Flowise UI. $259, $294. Okay, so the code has been updated completely at this point. Okay, let's go look into our UI. Okay, at this point, this button has been added. Actually, I could not show you, but this button has been added. So this actually saves. So if I say, okay, let's remove this, just keep only these two and connect between these two connections, and then we can go ahead and we can save it. So this is our, okay, export, generate JSON. This is our JSON. We can copy it, and now we can, okay, so this is where it is. Now I want to reload our JSON. I can come back here. I can say import. I can paste the requirement and exactly, as you can see, that our previous code has been done. So we could import and we could export just by using this command, and we can actually clean this thing. So again, as you could see, that some of these code has been they are not really working depending on our original UI. So there is padding, there are several things can be updated in this project. However, what our requirement was, we have successfully generated by using this Claude session. The code related with this project at this repo 650 AI Lab VibeCoding, and this is the project AI demo, where you can follow up all the code and using AI code editors, or you can actually take this whole code and you can refine by yourself, and you can use this code as the base and base code starting point for you to enhance this code. In the next video, I will be using same steps, but I will be using the cursor to build the exact same design, just to show you the difference between using the Claude prompts directly at the Claude server, or it's better to use the cursor or the windsurf or any of the these AI code editing tools. The objective here is to compare how you can use one or another of these tool sets available for you for your AI coding.